Welcome back, everybody. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. We really do appreciate it. Please hit that like and subscribe button. It helps us so much. I'm your host, plastic surgeon Dr. Bruce Herman, and with me, as always, is the wonderful Sarah, who I have to say, hair looks absolutely amazing today. Like, I saw her in the hall when I was coming into the studio. I was like, who's that girl? And I was like, oh, it's Sarah. But no,
Thank you.
Looks great.
My lion's mane.
Yeah.
Looking good.
In the box, we got Travis. What's up, man?
Hey,
how you doing?
How's it going? Dr. Herman, I'm just waiting on my hair compliment as well.
Your hair always looks fetching. It's always top shelf.
I'm joking.
I mean, but if you came in with some different style, man, like, I mean, I definitely would,
Next week, I'm coming in with
all right.
Color.
Okay. I'm interested to see that,
Dennis
actually.
Rodman color.
Yes, indeed.
I get hooked up with my my color person, you know. I got a person.
All right,
She's
I
really
got you.
good.
I
Yeah.
got you. I want tiger stripes.
Okay. I think we should do that.
Right.
Everybody having a good week? Anything interesting happening in everyone's lives?
Yeah, having a really good week.
Yeah.
I'm taking Avery to a little like Taylor Swift, like not the real Taylor Swift, but like a little tribute band that they're playing
really?
in Denton. Yeah.
Interesting. I bet that would be really cool. Taylor Swift.
She's pretty
tribute band.
good.
Is she?
Yeah, I looked her up on like YouTube and stuff.
Yeah.
She's pretty good.
When is that, tonight?
It's tonight and tomorrow. It's for
Where-
that little festival called She Rock, and it's all women.
Is it
artists.
in Denton?
Uh-huh.
I may have
And
to ask
it's
you
for-
about this after
It's
after
for
the
girls.
show.
It's like for
Yeah, Danica might like that. Yeah.
women's health and stuff.
Speaking of concerts, this is kind of funny. So Olivia Rodrigo's here tonight. Man, so my daughter wanted to go, and I mean, I'm not the hugest Olivia Rodrigo fan, but I would go to the concert because I love live music. But oh my God, the tickets for that show is like ridiculously stupid.
Yeah, how much?
Like insane. So like the worst ticket in the place, $500. Like I'm talking like up in the rafters where you need like oxygen because the air's so thin. $500. It's insane. I mean, of course they're all secondary market at this point. And so my daughter and I made this deal. We're gonna like wait literally until the last minute because there's still like a lot of tickets out there and see if the prices like bottom out like right before the show starts and then go last minute. So I don't know. I don't like doing like that because I like to know are we gonna go or not.
I looked at going to a big concert, like a Blink-182 concert, because they're like re-touring.
Yeah, I've seen
And they're
Blink-182.
super expensive too.
Yeah.
And I looked even like super early. It's weird.
Well, the problem is all these concert tickets get immediately bought up as soon as they go on sale, and then you're buying it like a resale ticket. I mean, you never get tickets, the original ticket, anymore. It's just crazy. It's super annoying because, not only you buy the tickets, like they add on about a third of the price for all these service fees.
Yeah.
Because the tickets are really, the cheapest one's like $350, but there's a $150 service fee, which makes no sense.
What are they serving you?
I guess the ability to buy a ticket at an outrageous price is what they're serving you, and then they charge you for it. Yeah, I really hate all of it. I mean, it is what it is, but it's just like, the tickets go on sale and then you can't buy them, and then you have to buy them a second time for a much higher price. It's just ridiculous. I wish somebody would fix that.
I don't know who can.
I mean, the way you could fix it would be potentially forcing, people to maybe have like an ID with the ticket they buy, right? No, I mean that's one way, but then it gets sticky because people bring their friends or whatever.
Yeah.
I don't know.
They need a ticket police.
I don't know, but it's annoying to like pay that much, for a ticket, because you're paying triple or quadruple what they initially sold for. So anyway, I don't know. I'll let you know what happens. But if that falls through, maybe Danica and I will go up to that. Are you guys going tonight?
Saturday.
Oh, we're going Saturday. Oh, yeah. Danica may hit that thing. Do you have to have tickets for it?
Yeah, but they're cheap.
They're unavailable.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, interesting. Well, I'm glad you told me about that.
That'll be fun.
Yeah,
you
we may
should
hit that
go.
up. All right, let's move on to some segments. So, first off, did you guys hear about Shannen Doherty in the news? It wasn't like a big thing. Yeah, it wasn't.
I know
too
she
big.
is though.
Yeah, right. So we all know Shannen Doherty's from Beverly Hills 90210.
And Charmed.
And Charmed, right? I mean, she was on it, but I always just remember her from Beverly Hills 90210 because that show was so like big back when I was like young. And
Charmed was big when I was young.
Yeah. And so I always associate her with that. Well, she has her own podcast now. It's called Let's Be Clear with Shannen Doherty.
Okay.
And so I guess this past week she was talking about this episode that she had where she decided she was going to go to a plastic surgeon, which first off, that's a change of tune for her because like just in 2021, I believe, she went on Instagram and basically was slamming people women that go and get, procedures done to look young. She's like, oh, you need to stay natural and this and that, and well, whatever. I mean, if somebody wants to say that, that's fine.
It looks like she's gotten Botox and stuff in her face.
Yeah, so she's had a little bit of change of tune since 2021 when she made that Instagram post. So she was telling the story about how she went to celebrity plastic surgeon Jason Diamond. I've never heard of that person. Have you heard of him?
No.
Oh, all right. He's probably some Beverly Hills plastic surgeon. I have a friend out there that's in Beverly Hills. Oh my gosh, I'm blanking on his name. He's gonna kill me. Well, it'll come to me. Oh my gosh, I haven't seen him in years and years. All right, I'm gonna come back to that. It's the COVID brain, I think, or something. But anyway, so she went to the celebrity plastic surgeon, Jason Diamond, and she went for what she said is a overall assessment, I guess. Like, what are my options for looking more youthful? And she got really unhappy because the plastic surgeon told her that she was a great candidate for a facelift. Which, I mean, she's pretty young. She's only 52 years old. So she was kind of upset about that.
Bradley Cooper was in the news for his facelift.
Bradley Cooper got a facelift? What? No way.
Yeah, I saw it.
Are you being serious?
I'm being serious.
How did I not hear about this?
I don't know.
Okay.
There was like all these TikToks like showing like how his you can see all of the different, like when he turns his head, you can see like the skin.
The scar?
Stretches.
Oh my gosh, I'm gonna look
And
for
right
that.
here you can see like where his beard doesn't like go all the way to his ear line anymore.
Oh my gosh, wow. I'm gonna have to look into that.
Yeah, but you can
He's
tell.
pretty young to get a facelift. How old is Bradley Cooper?
Really? He's like in his I think he's almost 50 years old now.
Almost 50? That's my age.
I mean, I don't know. He's a
I mean,
movie
I feel
star
like
too.
I don't need a facelift, but, well, I don't know. Anyway, so she's 52. All right, so as a plastic surgeon, to me, that's young to get a facelift. Most of the people that are getting facelifts, maybe late 50s, definitely 60s, I've done some, 70s as well. So I want to talk about, is Shannen Doherty a really good candidate for facelift, and kind of talk about what would make you a good candidate or not. So I do think 52 is early. I mean, if you just said is 52 a good candidate for facelift, my first response would be no, that's too young. Because you don't want to do it if you're not going to get enough gain from it.
Yeah.
And you don't want to do a facelift if there are other options which can accomplish what you want to do. And so, I mean, I use myself as an example. I always talk about the fact that I use this laser. Like, I was getting a little bit of jowling right here along here. I mean, just 'cause, I'm 49, I'm not quite 50, but and I used laser treatment, and it basically took it away. And just one treatment, and you can repeat those, which I do every year. So just in general, I think that that's pretty young. But I want to take a look at her. So throw up that next picture, Elvis. And these are all pretty recent, I think within the last year or two. And so, I mean, yeah, she's a beautiful woman. In these two pictures, I would say absolutely not. Like, to me, she doesn't have enough fall of the face to warrant doing a facelift. She doesn't really have, really heavy nasolabial folds, which is that line kind of right under the cheek, and she doesn't have like significant marionette lines, which is the lines that come down from the corner of the mouth. I will say she does have a little bit of fall of her platysma muscle, which is the muscle on the neck, and you can see it in that picture on the left where she's wearing the blue jacket, like that kind of line of her neck. That's kind of a classic sign of the deep structure of the face falling. But I found one picture that's maybe a little bit less flattering, and not to throw up her worst picture, but if we're talking about she needs a facelift, we need to look at her face. So throw up that next one, Travis. Yeah, so in this one, and you kind of have to like really kind of zoom in. I mean, she does look like her skin is aged a bit more than I would expect for 52. Like, especially looking at her neck.
Yeah, that doesn't even look like her.
Yeah, and I don't know, maybe it's just a bad picture because all the other pictures look pretty good, but people you use makeup and filters and stuff. And I hate to be critical about people, but we are talking about is a facelift right for this particular person. She does have a lot of fine lines in her skin. If you really kind of zoom in on that picture, you can kind of see them, and you can see that the skin of her neck looks a bit aged. And so the first question would be, okay, well, if we're saying that she looks a little bit more aged than her actual age, why would that happen? Sun exposure probably. I mean, I don't know if she's a smoker or was a smoker. That's really not good for your skin as well. and overall genetics. I mean, she just may not have although she looked great, when she was young, maybe her genetics are that her skin ages faster than the average person. So, even looking at that picture though, I mean, my opinion, I would say she's not a great candidate for a facelift because I think she's probably a little bit too early for it. To me, her biggest issue is really the fine wrinkles in her skin, which there's some great lasers that can take care of that. The only thing that might push her a little bit more towards surgery is none of the treatments which will tighten skin or get rid of those fine wrinkles will deal with that platysma band fall, which is that kind of line in the neck. I mean, you can tighten the skin, but if the muscle's kind of falling, you really have to do surgery to fix that. But for me, she's just early.
What kind of surgery is that called?
It's a neck lift.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, neck lift. And pretty much we do facelifts and neck lifts always together. I mean, even if somebody doesn't have as much fall in one area, because the incisions are the same and the recovery's the same. I mean, I encourage people to do it, and it's not, try to get money out of them. It's because you're doing the incision, you're doing the same dissection. I mean, just go ahead and do both if you're in there. Is my opinion. But, if she came into me, and especially because she doesn't want surgery. I mean, she said that in her little podcast. She's like, well, I was really upset that, this doctor told me I was a great candidate for facelift because I don't feel like I'm at that point yet. And I agree with her. I do. I disagree with that doctor. I mean, it wouldn't be crazy to do a facelift on her, but I just don't think it's the right answer.
Yeah. I feel like that's more of like a keeping up with the Joneses. For her to do the facelift. Yeah,
I agree. For her, I would try to get rid of some of those fine wrinkles, like with, laser treatments, which are great. Morpheus 8, which is we always talk about, is great. And then, use the Botox and maybe just very light fillers. You know how I feel about heavy fillers, but light fillers just to kind of mask things. And I think that she could, get what she wanted without going through the big surgery of a facelift and neck lift. And so, so I disagree with you, Dr. Diamond. I don't know who you are. You're probably a great guy, but I just think that you're wrong on this one. Sorry. And then then I wanted to also talk about, if you want to avoid having a facelift as long as possible or maybe forever, what are just some quick tips that you could do to make that happen? And it does start when you're young. I mean, you can't start doing these things when you're Shannen Doherty's age and expect, I'm not gonna have to have surgery. So I mean, I think good skincare, which you're gonna talk about later, is important. And starting young is good. Avoiding sun exposure. Sunscreen is important. I mean, you can go out in the sun, but wear sunscreen. The sun ages you so fast, and I really think she probably has a lot of either sun or tanning bed exposure based on how her neck looks. Like that picture is just classic for somebody who's been in the sun.
Yeah, she was from the age of that.
Oh, totally.
Trending. It was trending to go.
Yeah. Avoiding smoking is important. Smoking does age your skin. Starting Botox early, and to me, early is like 30. I'm not sure there's a lot of benefit to do it in your 20s unless you're just really kind of going overboard. And then skin treatments like intense pulse light, lasers, the microneedling's good. And then, when you get a little bit older, start using a little bit of fillers and Sculptra. I think you could probably avoid a facelift, pretty much your whole life if you did all those things. I mean, if there's money involved.
Long enough to really not care.
What's that?
I said long enough to where you're old enough.
Right.
So where you're like, I don't care.
Yeah, you hit your late 70s or 80s, you're probably like, wow, I'm probably good.
Yeah.
I mean, you say that, but people are doing stuff, later and later these years. So, but yeah. So.
What's the oldest you've ever done plastic surgery on?
80s.
Nice.
I mean, there are some people out there that are. Well, I'll tell you. Like bigger surgeries, 70s, but things like where I've had women that had old implants that needed to be swapped out or removed, and I know that some have been in 80, early 80s. But you get some like people that are really still pretty youthful, even in their 80s these days, because they take care of themselves and people are living longer.
Yeah, my mom definitely in that bracket.
Yeah, my mom too. My mom's like 87, about to be 88, and she still works like almost full time. It's insane. Yeah. Like, she's got so much energy. I mean, it's kind of impressive, honestly. Yeah. But anyway, I just wanted to recap this segment really quickly. So today we were talking about Shannen Doherty, who was really upset because she went to a plastic surgeon for an overview or a general assessment, and he said that she's a great candidate for a facelift. We looked at her pictures and I disagree with him. I think she's a little bit early. Also at her age of 52, I think that's a little early to have a facelift. I would have recommended some non